Always love that music. In this video, I'm talking about how to change your mindset so that you can open yourself up to new possibilities. A lot of times we get stuck in the rut. We get stuck in our ways of doing things, and we don't allow ourselves to change. We don't allow ourselves to explore new opportunities. In this video, I give you some tips on how to change your mindset and become more open-minded. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. If you are new to me, that's Woode with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, going to the next level, creating the life you've always wanted. That's what I do here on the channel. And you have caught me at the end. That's right. At the end of our month, which we're calling Vlogmas. And you'll see the logo right there over my head. Vlogmas is a time when content creators come aside. They tweak, they change, they adjust, they grow, they expand all the things that we do for our audience, for our clients, for our customers, for our patients, so that we can make sure that we're still being true to what we said that we're doing and what we're providing. The benefit is, like I said, we get to grow. We get to try new things. We get to enjoy the process of improving. And for you, our clients, audience, customers, and patients, you get to hang out with us while we do that. You get to see it sometimes live and in real time, as you've seen here many times on the show. But so glad that you're here. Once again, if you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments, because I'd love to welcome you with some music and a hand clap. So that we love when new people come through and are hanging out with us. If you also new, please go ahead and put, if you have questions, put a Q with a colon in front of that question so that we know that that's something that we need to get to. My hat's off to all of my colleagues who are in Vlogmas. This is day number 30. We got one more day, guys and gals. One more day, and it will be the end of the month. And my hat's off to you for all that you've done. Hats off to the folks over at eCam Live for sponsoring this. And you guys really do a great job for the community. And I love the eCam community. So really appreciate what you all do and how you all contribute to the group and to the space in general, and to me in particular, because you guys have really helped me as we've gone through the month. So just excited for the month. Talking about tomorrow, okay? You want to make sure that you are here tomorrow on the show, because tomorrow, if I can pull up my graphic, tomorrow we've got a pretty good show. We're going to do a New Year's celebration, right? So kind of looking back at the old 2022 and looking forward to 2023. I've got some guests who are going to be with me. You see Cheryl Wolf and Janet Dobbs, who are going to be with me tomorrow night. And we have some other folks that are going to that have promised that they're going to stop through just to say hello and to hang out with us, and you want to be here. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a time where we, like I said, look back at 2022 and then look forward to 2023, talking about the things that have happened, things that are going on in the creative space, things that are going on in our offerings, in our channels, in our content creation, and the growth that we've seen, right? So you get to come on. If you're a content creator, you get to come on tomorrow and just hang out with us. If you would like to appear on the show, go ahead and DM me, and we can try to make that happen, okay? So make sure that you come out. I am looking forward to that. Oh yeah. Just really looking forward to that. So tonight, I'm talking about mindset. I'm talking about mindset. And mindset is an interesting thing, right? It is an interesting process. So let me hop back over here and get that slide off the screen. So changing your mindset, how to open yourself up to new possibilities. That's what we are talking about tonight. And so the question then is what is mindset? Right? What is mindset, and why should we care? What is mindset and why should we care? So mindset is basically the attitude and perspectives that you have towards the world around you, right? It's the lens through which we see everything. And we can, different people see the world differently based on their mindsets and they are successful or not successful sometimes based on their mindset. It's a combination of our learning. It is our idea of how things are and how we interact with the world. And it sets up our problem solving ability. It sets up our ideas about how things can and should be done. It sets up our ideas about how people should respond to us. It sets up our ideas about how we can interact with the world and should we interact with the world. Right? So that's our mindset. I mean, it encompasses a huge component of our lives. And changing our mindsets sometimes means adjusting our attitudes, our beliefs, our feelings, and so forth. So it is a pretty comprehensive part of who we are. And a lot of times we talk about whether it's a positive or negative mindset. And I'm not going to talk about positive or negative. There are a couple other words that I'm going to use here tonight as we talk about mindset that I think will give us a more practical way of thinking about mindset. But mindset, once again, it's the perspective, it's the attitude, it's the beliefs that we have about the world around us and how we can interact with it. And it is the lens through which we see everything. And as you know, if your lens, like my glasses that I have on, if my lens are discolored, if my lens are dirty, if my lens are not clear, then it colors what I see and it colors how I interact with things. I remember like my my vision changed, right? And I was reading stuff and it was blurry. I mean, it was not very blurry, but blurry enough so that when I got the new glasses and I was like, oh my gosh, that was, yeah. So I was seeing things, but I was not seeing them clearly. So mindset can also have an effect in that way. Okay. Now, I want to step away from and step back from, once again, the positive and negative mindset, because we've talked about that and we will talk more about that in the future. And even tonight we'll mention that. And I also want to get away from negative, well, it's not negative, bad and good mindsets, right? So your mindset is good. The beliefs are bad. We don't want to deal with that. What I want to do is I want to set this in a framework of, are those mindsets, are those things, are those beliefs, are those feelings, are they being beneficial? And if they're not, how can we change them? Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to create the life that we want. Remember, we're no longer allowing life to just happen to us. So we want to create the life that we want. Okay. And so the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And so those are two phrases that I want to put there. So one mindset can help us, and I'll come back and define those in a minute, but one mindset can help us identify paths to success, right? That we thought were closed off. And it allows us to discover the joy in unexpected places. And the other mindset can drag us down and make us make even simple tasks seem impossible. And we get to choose which of those mindsets we want to use. And developing, and here's a phrase, right? A healthier outlook on life. Notice we're not saying negative, right? Developing a healthier outlook on life with healthier beliefs and a healthier mindset allows us to take advantage of possibilities that come. Let me say that again. So developing a healthier outlook, healthier set of beliefs, healthier mindset allows us to have our minds open and allows us to take advantage of possibilities and opportunities that come to us. I was recently at a wedding, and I'm not going to call his name, but I was with the guy, right? My wife and I, and him and his wife, and a bunch of folks were there. And so the music was going, and everybody was on the dance floor. And you know how they come out with those neon wands, and anyway, these all these neon things, because they want the people on the floor to, they're going to wave them, and it kind of adds to the atmosphere, right? And so I'm sitting up on it was kind of like those cocktail tables. So we're sitting up almost like on a balcony, and you can go down to the floor. And one of the guys that was with us, he got up and he started walking. And I didn't realize what was going on. But by the time I realized what was going on, the people had come out they had all these different neon things that they were giving out. And one of the things that they had were these big cowboy hats. They were neons, right? They were lit up. And so he went down and he got one. And by the time I got down there, they were gone. I mean, all they had was they had other stuff, but I wanted one of the hats. And I said to him, I said, well, how did you know that? He said, oh, I was just watching. I just saw it and I just took off. I said, you could have told me, first of all. That's the other thing. That's a whole nother conversation, right? You could have told me. But he was, his vision was, or allowed him to be able to see that. And I liken that to mindset and beliefs and this conversation that we're having. Because sometimes if our mindsets are not of such, if they're not healthy, if they're not as healthy as we want them to be, then it's almost like we have blinders on, right? That we don't see things that are coming at us. We don't see opportunities. And so changing our mindset allows us to do that. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right, so a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. The simple distinction between these two is where someone believes, right? The believes either that all that they have, all the gifts that they have, all the mental capacity that they have, all of the abilities they have is all they're going to get. And they've got to just make do with that. Fixed mindset. So it keeps people from growing and achieving goals because this is all I got. And I just got to make do with this. Whereas a growth mindset, on the other hand, says, yeah, I can grow. I can improve. I can get better, right? That's one of the concepts here with Vlogmas for the month. Right? So I may have failed. I may not have been able to do things in the past, but now I am able to get better. And it allows for the willingness to seek out help and seek out understanding for other things, for better things. And it makes it possible. So if my fixed mindset, this is all I have. My growth mindset says, yeah, I got that. I got the stuff that's over there, but I can add to my bag. I can add to my tools. I can add to my gifts. I can improve I can make the gifts I have better. And doing so unlocks potential. Yeah. Right? Because now we can get to higher heights. Because the tools I have, I can get more tools. And if I'm at a particular place, I can get more tools. I can get higher and higher and higher. And that means then that anybody, right? That means that anybody, any person has the ability to improve their tools, improve their gifts, develop their gifts, learn new tools, and can be successful. And now they can take advantage of those possibilities that we're talking about, right? So the difference between fixed and growth mindset. And there are some other nuances which we won't get into right now as we talk about those two. Yep. All right. So what are some benefits, right, of having a growth mindset? And, we talked about some of those here in a minute ago. So benefits of having a growth mindset says that anything is now available to me. If I can conceive it, what's that saying? If I can conceive it, I can do it. That's the growth mindset. It says that I can create the life I want. Remember? I said it at the top. That's what I do on the channel. I educate, I empower, I encourage people to take charge of their health and their life, create the life they want. We're no longer letting life happen to us. No longer letting life happen to us, right? We are now doing stuff for ourselves. Give me just a second here, guys. Right? We are no longer allowing life to just happen to us. We're taking charge of it, and we are putting the parameters on our life. So that's the benefit of having a growth mindset. Growth mindset says that I'm going to be a millionaire. I don't have $1 million right now, and I'm starting out at the bottom of the company, the bottom of the team. But I'm going to be a millionaire. It says that I'm going to get a college degree. I'm going to get a terminal degree. That I'm going to be president of the college or university. That's not where I am now. That's what's going on. Those are the benefits of having a growth mindset. All right. How can we change the mindset? How can you change your mindset? Wow. Yeah. So changing the mindset begins by understanding once again where the mindset comes from, right? So we said that the mindset is your attitude, your perspective, the way you think about the world around you. The way we see things, the lens through which we see things. And where does that come from? Where does that come from? Well, first, let's go back and I'm going to pop over to this here because I want this is a learning video, right? So I want you to get a pen and a piece of paper. Actually, you're going to need several pieces of paper. But this is an exercise that I want you to go through. Right? And I want you to go through this because one of the things that we said is beliefs, right? We said that the lens, right, is made up of our beliefs, our attitudes, and so forth. So exploring where our beliefs are, how do we see things? What do we believe about things? It's a good exercise for us to do. And so here's the exercise, right? Get a piece of paper, get a pen, and I want you to explore what you currently believe about work, about life, about people around you, about yourself, and about God. Once again, you're getting this paper and you're writing. And I'll tell you about the writing part in a minute. But we're going to explore what our beliefs are about work, about life, about the people around us, about ourselves, and about God. And this is going to be free flowing, right? So you're going to get a piece of paper, and at the top of it, you're going to write work. And you're going to start writing what you believe about work. And you're just going to keep writing until you can't write anything else. Then you're going to turn and you're going to write life at the top of the paper. And you're going to write, just let your brain go. Let your mind go. Write. And then you're going to put myself, right, at the top. Put your name, maybe. And you're going to write. What do you believe about yourself? And then what do you believe about God? Same thing. And you're going to write until you can't write until you can't think of anything else. Got that so far? So that's the exercise. And what we're doing is we're exploring what we think, what we currently have in our minds about these areas. And there may be some other areas that you have in there that you want to write in, you want to put in, right? But those should cover, the people around us, ourselves, our relationship to God, work, life, right, in general. And then there's some questions that we're going to answer. And here are the questions. You see them there, right? So the first one is, how much of what you believe is your own? The things that you believe right now, how much of those are what you believe, or are these things that you have been taught that you accept that you don't believe? Do you see the distinction there? So how much of these are mine? Okay. Now, this is an exercise that I think a lot of people sometimes go through, and it's a really rocky time, or it can be a really rocky time. Right? Many of us go through this as we are growing, as we're going through adolescence, because we're now questioning the world. We're questioning our parents. We're questioning the people who raised us. And there's some things that they have that they say that we're like, okay, I don't believe that anymore, right? And so it's a little rocky. It can be rocky. But it can also be very liberating when now that is what I believe. I mean, my mom said it, my dad said it, my grandparents may have said it, but now I understand it. And now, yeah, it's mine. Right? So how much is it? How much of it is your own? Right? Because we're going to own those. Because when we own them, whatever we have, whether we own it or not, is going to determine our mindset. Okay? And then how much of it is enabling versus disabling? Now, there are some things that we believe that don't serve us well. And this is one of those places where people talk about, negative and positive mindset. Right? There are some negative things that we think about that don't serve us. Like, I am not good at whatever. You may not be. Right? You may be the worst, whatever, cook, worst sweeper, worst. But rather than say that, right? Rather than hold that, say that's not my gift. My gift is this other thing over here. That person doesn't like me. That person doesn't, and you could pick the word. Right? You can take that and you can begin, right, going down that rabbit hole, or you can choose something else. You get to choose the things that you believe. And after all, remember that the things that we believe allows us to interact with the world in a certain way. And our interaction, our belief in the world dictates how we behave. And how we behave dictates what result we get. Okay? So remember, we're going through these questions. Now you've written all these things down about life, about yourself, about God, about people. And now we're answering the question. The first one is, how much of what you believe is your own? The next, how much of it is enabling versus disabling? Then what messages about life, people, work, yourself did you get from family as you shaped your personality? Right? So going back to almost to that very first one. How much of it comes from our families of origin? Now I'll tell you there, and I've mentioned this here several times. You guys are gonna ask me, well, what did he say? Right? I mentioned to you guys that when I was in elementary school, I had a teacher who said something to me that really colored some things that I did up until recently. When I say recently, I'm talking within the last 5-6 years. And this was in 6th, 7th, maybe 7th grade. Yeah. I have an aunt who told me something when I was 15, 16, 17 that I held on to for a very, very long time. And it served the purpose, but I had to change it. Right? So what did we get from our families as they shaped our personalities? And then here's an interesting one. What is our response when we express our beliefs and someone disagrees? Oh, we're going to have to put a pin right there. Because we are in a world now that is very intolerant, I think is the word. I remember when I was growing up, we had disagreements. Like, I had disagreements with people, friends, right? And when we had a disagreement, we argued about it, and when we were done, we were still friends. Like, hey, let's go do this. We're still friends. As a matter of fact, I had a fight with a friend of mine once. I think I chipped this tooth right here. With that fight. And we were done. Guess what? Yeah, we went to the playground. We played handball, I think. But we don't do that now. Right? If you disagree with me, then we cannot be friends. We cannot be colleagues. We're like, yeah, opposite. So the question is, what's your response when you express a belief and someone disagrees? Are you able to stand up with your beliefs and still be tolerant and still be friendly with that person? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're answering the question, how do we change? How do we change? How do we change our beliefs? Right? How do we change our beliefs? How do we change our mindset? And in terms of mindset, we have to go to the beliefs. Because remember, we're saying that our mindset is the lens through which we see everything. And that lens is colored by our attitudes. It's colored by our beliefs. It's colored by how we were raised. It's colored so many different things. And a big part of that is through the beliefs. So that's an exercise. I want you guys to make sure that you do the exercise, right? It's very important. And that has implications, not just for this discussion that we're having, but so many other things, right? So many other things that you will find in your life. This is going to be beneficial. So make sure you do it. I may come back and just do a show just on that exercise alone. Right? All right. And so those are the questions, right? So the questions for the exercise. So how do we change our mindset? How do we change our mindset? Well, one, we've got to understand that the mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. So I'm going to go to one of my favorite books, the Bible, right? And it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And let me paraphrase that. So as a man believes, or woman, that's what they are. Because everything that they do emanates from the belief. Your response to a person, the words you use, your ideas of whether you can be successful or not, your ideas of where you can go, how far you can go, how high you can go, all of that comes from the belief, comes from the mindset. So understand that the mindset is everything. Number two, be aware of your beliefs. And that's the exercise that we just went through, because you've got to understand what's going on. Where those come from, look at them. And there are some beliefs that are painful for us to look at. There's going to be some beliefs that we're going to have to take a hard look at. We're going to have to do some digging for those. But we got to be aware. And we have to be aware of our thoughts and our emotions. Thoughts and emotions. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Because sometimes as we are in the process of, we're in a situation, it's hard right then sometimes to be aware, right? But it takes practice. It takes practice. And that goes to this next one. Cultivate a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. It has to be intentional. And I use that word intentional. You got to practice. You got to think. Right? You've got to be in the mindset. You got to be in the mindset of changing, of wanting change, of wanting to be better, of wanting to grow, of wanting to improve. So you got to be aware, and you got to cultivate that, be in the framework of that. And then try new things. I heard someone say, and of course, as soon as I said that, I'm forgetting where, but someone who said that it is that they try to do something new every day, or something that's uncomfortable. Something that's uncomfortable. Because we're very good at staying in the comfort. But remember, right, and you've heard it here, that growth happens at the intersection, at the border, the line between the known and the unknown. Because when you're stepping out, right, that's the growth. As we stay on this side of that line, there's no growth. But as we move, right, so try some new things. What are some new things you can try? I don't know. Try a new hobby, try a new book, try a new restaurant, some new foods, some different types of foods. Meet some different people. Travel to a different country, different state, different county. Some people, they've lived at the same place. They've never gone anywhere. No, go somewhere. I have some friends that I see on Facebook and so forth, and they're always everywhere, right? Go somewhere. Now, I'm not saying you got to be, in a new country every day, but do something different. Try something new. And then be patient. Be patient. One of the most, let me say it a little differently. The enemy of success sometimes is impatience. People who are not patient, they want it now. They want it right now. Some of my folks who are diabetics, some of my folks who are trying to lose weight, right? They've been this way for 30 years and they try a diet and they don't lose any weight in 3 months and they give up. Because we want it right now. Now there's, some time when you say, hey, it's been a long time. We need to do something different, right? That's a whole nother story. But right now, be patient with yourself. It will come. You got to be consistent. So patience, repetition, consistency. So if you're consistent over time, you get benefit. That's one that I had to learn, and one I am still learning in certain respects. Time. But yeah, it can happen. It can happen. I thought I heard somebody knocking. Right? So understand your mind, that mindset is everything. Be aware of your beliefs. Be aware of your thoughts and your emotions. Cultivate a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Try new things and be patient. Amazing. Amazing. And we got to make sure that we do those, and make sure you guys, make sure you do the exercise, right? Make sure you do the exercise, that beliefs exercise. That's a pretty cool one, right? Yeah. All right, that's it. This was, I love this one. This is a good discussion, right? And as I always say, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. Right? Because we all need those reminders that help us to get better, to expand, to grow, to push that envelope. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm glad that you're here. Vlogmas, day number 30. Day number 30. Tomorrow, and let me see. I got to hop back to, let me see if I can. I'll have to scroll all the way back up, but that's okay. No, I won't do that. I was going to show you the graphic again, right? Yeah, I am. I'm going to do that. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to go all the way back because I got to. There you go. Make sure you come out. Make sure you hang out with us. We're going to be here 7 o'clock Central. Looking forward to just chatting about the year, about 2022, and then looking forward to 2023, man. I have been excited about 2022, and I am pumped for 2023. I can't wait for 2023 to start, because there's some fun things that I want to do. Fun, just continuing the growth and expansion and the improvement that I've had in my life, and I hope that you have had that as well here on the channel. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow night. But it's been amazing, guys, to be with you all, to walk through the topics, to walk through the learning, to walk through the discussions that I've had with you on the channel for the past year, as we've grown together, and as you have interacted, and you've connected, and you've asked questions, and I can go on and on and on. But just so excited that you chose this channel. You chose me to be in your space. You chose me to be in your community. And this has been an amazing year for me. And I want to make sure that all of you are connecting with me. I know I've not had a direct connection with some of you. Right? We've sent out some emails, we've sent out some gifts, we've sent out some things. Come on over, right? If I have not reached out to you yet, if you've not gotten a message from me, go ahead and DM me on any one of the platforms, because I would love to connect with you. I would love to have you and for us to have some interaction. Okay? Because that's what this is all about. There are some people that connected with me on Facebook and have asked me personal questions about their situations, and I want you to notice, right, as I'm going through the channel. And when we first started this channel, we were doing those pre-recorded videos. Okay, now guys, this is me right here. This live stuff, yeah, this is me. And if you want, you can see me in person. Right? Find me wherever I do one of my things. Find me. This is me. And having an interaction with you and hearing your story and being able to resonate with you and connect with you and empathize with you is so enjoying and enriching for me. Right. So make sure that you do that as we get to the end of this year. 2023 is slated to be an amazing year. And I trust that your year is going to be amazing as well. I see David. Hey, David, thanks for coming through, man. He said, just quick check-in. Love that you were here. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so like that, right? So David coming through and just saying, hey, man, I just wanted to say hi, right? Love it. So please make sure that you do that as well. And so for tomorrow night, I want everyone to come over here, right? We're going to be here 7:00 Central. We're going to talk about 2022, talk about 2023. We're going to have some fun. And if you see, you can't see back there yet, but see, I'm setting up, I'm getting my background ready for tomorrow night when we get to hang out a little bit. But thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us for this year. As we head into 2023, I wish you all the joy, all the grace, all the protection, all the connections that you need to be successful, to be healthy, and to have an amazing life. Remember, we're going to the next level because we're creating the life we want. We're no longer allowing life to happen to us. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health, take charge of your life, avoid complications, create the life you've always wanted, and go to the next level. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:00 Central. Good night, everyone. Man, don't you just love this music? Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Good night.